Welcome back to the Cossy podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. We have a few deals breaking through, by the way. Thomas Partey is closer and closer to joining Saudi Arabia. But also today, Arsenal are very, very close to agreeing a deal with Sevilla for the transfer of Sambi Lokonga. I'll be talking about Nketiah. I'll also talk about Nuno Tavares as well. But I think in the next few weeks, you're going to see a lot of developments, a lot of stories, and a lot of deals moving in the right direction. There's been a bit of a leak from a very, very credible source that there's a German player who's set to join Arsenal in the next 2 weeks. Now, I cannot really confirm who that player is, but if I get any more details on that, I'll also let you know. But the one thing I've seen in the last few hours is that we are now seeing a couple of breakthroughs. Arsenal have signed a new goalkeeper, 18-year-old, and also we have information that Arsenal are very, very close to signing a backup goalkeeper this summer, and that goalkeeper is going to be coming in from Spain. So lots to dive into. Let's start off with the big story on Sambi Lokonga today. Now, according to sources, Arsenal are very close to agreeing a deal with Sevilla for Sambi Lokonga. This is according to Chris Whitley, and he's saying that Sevilla have entered into advanced negotiations with Arsenal over the signing of Sambi Lokonga. Discussions are ongoing about whether the deal will be on loan with an obligation or to buy or an option to buy, but there is preliminary agreement on this deal. So Sambi Lokonga, there is an agreement between Sevilla and Arsenal that is going to be going there. The only detail that is yet to be clarified is whether the player is going to be going out on a loan deal with an obligation or a loan deal with an option to buy. Look, he had a very good season last season, and I said he's one of those loan deals that actually helped us as a club and also helped the player. I think Sambi Lokonga's future at Arsenal is definitely over. Regardless of whether he leaves Arsenal this summer on loan or not, I think next summer we will see Arsenal cash in. This summer we must see Arsenal as well trying to cash in. So what they're trying to do with Sevilla here is very, very impressive. They know that Sevilla don't have the money right away to pay for Sambi Lokonga, maybe 15 million, maybe 13. I think it should be around there, 15 to 13 to 15. If Sevilla don't have the money to pay right away, what you do is give them the player on loan, and then you give them that obligation. Now, that obligation, of course, depends on two things. One, how highly does Sevilla rate the player? If they rate him highly, if they think that he's going to be, a crucial player for them going forward, he's a part of the project they're building, then definitely they're going to include that obligation to buy, just like Arsenal did with, David Dreyer. They will get committed to buying him at the end of the season. If they're taking him just on trial to see whether he works out, then that is where the option to buy comes in. But for me, Arsenal should not be bullied with the Sambi Lokonga deal. He's a player that had a fantastic campaign in the Premier League. So I'll be looking to sell fast, but if Arsenal really think there are no opportunities to sell Sambi Lokonga, then there's no problem. We can send him out on loan, to Sevilla with an obligation to buy. So this one looks like it is set to be completed. Of course, we are yet to hear if the players also agree to the deal, but we are told that personal terms are not a problem on that one. So looks like there is a preliminary agreement between Sevilla and Arsenal that the player will join Sevilla on loan. So you're just trying to agree whether it's going to be an obligation or it's going to be an option, and personal terms between Sevilla and the player are also not a big problem. Of course, this points to the fact that Arsenal are not going to be, really shouting on the market. They're going to get a couple of deals done, but behind the scenes in the background. You look at this deal. Lokonga has been linked with a couple of clubs ever since he came out and said, I'm going to be leaving Arsenal. I think that the club has given me their position. They want me to leave. I don't think we have seen a lot of stories linking him to club A, club B, club C at the moment. But one thing we have seen is straight away from nowhere, Arsenal have agreed to deal with Sevilla. So that's what I've been telling you, that deals are being worked on in the background. For you, because we don't know, because we don't have the conclusive information and the conclusive evidence on these deals, it doesn't mean they are not happening, right? In normal circumstances, we should have had a story about Sevilla being, Sevilla contacting Arsenal, then Sevilla agreeing personal terms with the player, then Sevilla, proposing a deal or, initiating, their first bid. We should have had all those stories, but all those things happened without the media knowing, and that's what Arsenal want. Arsenal want top secrecy this summer. Arsenal want deals to be done behind the scenes, and regardless of who you are, regardless of what you think, those deals will be done behind the scenes. So, Sambi Lokonga close to a move away from Arsenal as well. Now, Thomas Partey, yesterday I reported that Thomas Partey had been approached by Saudi Arabia and the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, who want to quickly finalize personal terms with them. Partey is expected to leave Arsenal, with Arsenal open to letting the player go. Now, today it's being reported that PIF, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, has made substantial progress and substantial footsteps in the right direction with Thomas Partey, and we might actually see Partey moving to Saudi Arabia within the next 2 weeks. So the deal is progressing. The player has not really agreed personal terms like Sambi Lokonga. Probably it's not yet there, but there is a big possibility and there is big energy around Partey and PIF that this time they will get the deal done. Of course, if they agree personal terms with the player, then they will reach out to Arsenal and let us know how much they are willing to pay. I don't know how much Arsenal are really willing to say no to, but for me, if it's between it's between 15 and above million, I think Arsenal should be willing to say yes. So, and those are two deals that are really being worked on in the pipeline. Not much information, but at this point in time, I presume that Arsenal have already told Partey, listen, it's not going to work out. We gave you another season. We gave you the benefit of the doubt. Last summer, we kept you, and we thought that you're going to give us that top-level performance, that top season, but you were never available. So we've got to move on. The links with the player, an anonymous player, to Arsenal from Germany. That could be Joshua Kimmich. That could be anyone playing in the number 6. And of course, Arsenal coming out and saying that they want a number 6 as priority this summer. That definitely speaks something. That definitely speaks volumes. That tells you that Arsenal are sure Thomas Partey is not the guy next season, right? And however much you want to believe it or not, he is not the guy. It's as simple as that. I would love him to be the player. I would love him to be the guy that stays at Arsenal next season and gives us a top season. He is not that guy. So Thomas Partey to Saudi Arabia progressing. That is another deal that you should be able to hear from me in the next 2 weeks. At least confirming that it has broken down or confirming that's actually gone through. Now, for me, I knew that Arsenal would do a lot of sales, and I think we have already started doing those, offloading sessions in the right direction. Lokonga, no chance he had to go. Thomas Partey, for me, again, if Arsenal can get a good player like Kimmich, no chance for Partey to stay. He's got to go. So those two, when they leave, Arsenal could bring in a very, very good midfielder, one that can actually give us much more quality in those areas. Now, Arsenal have set the asking price. I wanted to talk about this yesterday. We have set the asking price of Nketiah at 50 million. Alex Crook from TalkSport says that he's been told the price tag that Arsenal expect to recoup for Nketiah is 50 million. So I wonder if that might put off some potential suitors. He's also got a contract worth in excess of 100 million a week, 100,000 a week. I know Crystal Palace is historically interested, and they've been keen on Nketiah. You've got the likes of West Ham and Everton. Southampton are looking to bolster their attacks, their striker ranks. But I just wonder if that 50 million asking price might be a bit rich for some. Okay, so 50 million from Nketiah, and I like the perspective of Alex Crook here because he's gone with the realistic perspective. 50 million is too much for Nketiah. However, guys, there was a deal that was being smuggled. There was a deal that was being smuggled where Newcastle were trying to pay 40 million for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, an injury-prone guy that has spent a lot of time on the sidelines. So, the striker market is not easy right now. The striker market is not easy. And I'm not saying Nketiah is worth 50 million. All I'm trying to say is don't underestimate the potential of Arsenal selling Nketiah at a reasonable fee. Now, let's talk about Nketiah and 50 million. Why Arsenal have set 50 million in Nketiah? For me, there are only two reasons why this could be. One, it's kind of called what? It's not low balling, because low balling is when you start small and you increase. So what is this called? Is this called foot in the mouth negotiation tactics, right? So with foot in the mouth negotiation tactics, you start with something too big, and then you as you come down, as you reduce, you reduce the amount that you're willing to settle for. This is what Arsenal are trying to do. When you remember deals that have happened, in the past, I mean, clubs have asked for crazy fees. 70 million for some players, 80 million for some players, and eventually a deal is settled for around 60 million, 50 million, or even 60 million. What Arsenal are trying to do here is they're trying to set the expectation for Nketiah very high, so that when a club comes in to purchase him, they don't just give us whatever they feel like, right? Imagine if Arsenal said he is 30 million and we genuinely want 30 million. No club is going to give you 30 million because you want 30 million in Nketiah. They're going to try to, trash talk you into 20 million. So Arsenal saying we want 50 million. You come with your trash talk. You come with your, he's not worth that. It's okay. We will eventually get the 30 million that we are looking for. I like it. Now, the problem is this. Arsenal could be looking to scare away potential buyers for Nketiah. Arsenal could be looking to keep Nketiah for one more season. The reason is this. The striker market is bogus. Absolutely bogus. And if you are, and it doesn't really matter whether you are Crystal Palace, West Ham, Arsenal, Dortmund, Juventus. The striker market is absolutely bogus. Really bogus. We are talking Sahu Girassis of this world, who has gone to Dortmund, by the way. We are talking Fulkrugs of this world. I think every team right now who have a sporting director that has a job, that still has a job, should be chasing Niklas Fulkrug, including Arsenal, by the way. I don't like him really, but I would take him. I would take him over Nketiah. I would take Niklas Fulkrug. He's traditional number 9, goal scorer, really proven, right? I would take him at Arsenal. So what Arsenal are also trying to do here is they're trying to provide themselves with some security. If you say Eddie is 30 million, trust me, anyone is going to snatch him up. And that will put you under pressure to sign a striker. So because Arsenal failed to get Šeško, Arsenal have not yet gotten the striker they want, they are also saying, you either pay us a lot of money for the striker we have, or we are also not giving you the striker we have before we are sure that, we can get the striker we want. So Nketiah for 50 million, will he leave Arsenal? There is that small, churning in my gut that he's gonna stay. And why I feel that churn in my gut is I've seen Arsenal keep Rob Holding for more than 3 years when he should have left a long time ago. I've seen Arsenal keep Hector Bellerin under Mikel Arteta. So there is that churn in my gut that tells me this is a Hector Bellerin position. This is a Rob Holding, deja vu. Now, talking about deja vu, Arsenal as well have a problem on their hands, and that problem is Nuno Tavares. So Nuno Tavares says that his priority is to return to Arsenal. After that, only the future will tell. Everyone knows that I have 1 year left on my contract. There have been few approaches, but I leave it to whoever is in charge of my future. That is that is Nuno Tavares. Arsenal want a new left back this summer, and the reason, Mikel Arteta doesn't trust any of the options we have there at left back. The story that was written by, is it Charles Wetz or Team News and Ticks, that Mikel doesn't really have a left back at the Arsenal. He doesn't see anyone at left back at the Arsenal. So he looks at Ben White, Timber, and Tomiyasu as backups for each other at right back, and also backups for Saliba at left back. He doesn't see anyone there. Kivio could leave. Zinchenko could leave. Tavares is one I wouldn't really give a chance. I think Tavares is another player I would give a loan deal maybe. Like, give him a loan deal with but he's got 1 year left on his contract. You can't just do a loan deal. He's going to, become a free agent. You can't talk him into signing a new deal, because what's the point? Why would he sign a new deal? Why would he sign a new deal at Arsenal? He's never going to be there, right? He knows that you're going to use him to get money. So this one is an interesting one. This one is an interesting one, but let me know. Let me know what you think about this one. Tavares, do you keep? Do you sell? Do you loan? Does he really have a future at Arsenal? Did he ever have a future at Arsenal? I wonder. I really, really do.